What's good? What's poppin', everybody? Happy Saturday. And it's an exciting day because I just essentially got 20 times more land in Decentraland. I mean, effectively, because I just learned about these worlds and jumped on it real fast. We're about to experience something exciting together because I'll show you in a little bit. There's a big list of places, which are worlds, and my Trumpty Dumpty 3D virtual world that was also like a little 1 minute music video is online. And look at that. I mean, it's one of only like probably 100 things out there. I can't believe people aren't using this. I'm surprised there's not like thousands of them already. Because what it is, so let's get into it. These worlds, they're basically a no land deployment. And there was something I said a week ago or something that Roblox, what they do, it's not so much a map. There's a whole list of places, and you can kind of jump into them, and they're not on the map like in Decentraland. And so, well, I must have been onto something good because that's really close to what this is. So you can think of it as no land deployment. And so you buy this thing called a name, which seems to be the same thing as a world. A world is almost seems like it's a deployment of the name or something. And there's still some stuff I have to learn, but these are incredible because they're 100 mana, and you get 100 megabytes, which if you're familiar with the usage limitations, it's like 9 parcels worth of storage. So that really changes things. And I'm going to give you some quick tips today too about, I found some great ways to reduce the size of your GLTF exports. So make sure to stay tuned for the whole thing because there's going to be lots of good stuff. And so the worlds, they're basically no land hosting, and then they're about $25 right now. That's 100 mana. But then now, if you own land, each land you own gives you another 100 megabytes. So look at that. I got 2 lands now, so I got 300 megabytes. Like, that's enough to do a huge building, and especially now that I'm getting better and better at being conscientious about my texture sizes and things like that. I mean, oh man, I could make something huge, and I've got a lot of ideas for my farming game that, I was starting to get up to like 4 different pieces of land I needed. So I might be able to eventually combine them and put them in one of these worlds because it'd be plenty big enough. And I just deployed something to it, and I'm only taking up a little bit. And this was something, as we'll get into, this was like started out as like 130 megabytes. So what I'm about to show you with Blender is really getting into it. And so with it being no parcels, I mean, they're saying you can just set as many parcels as you want in there. That's why I'm saying it all goes by the megabytes you use. So I mean, if you were just creating like blocks and stuff, you could have like infinite maps. So this really changes things, and with it being $25, this seems monumental to me because I think what we learned from Roblox and Minecraft and stuff, when you're inside the game, at least it was my experience, maybe it's just because I'm so into 3D art and music and everything else, so I see the kind of potential of it and everything. And I mean, I feel like you want to make something, and that's kind of part of the point of it. It's UGC, user generated content. So yeah, let's see. Did we go over? Okay, one. We'll get into some technical now that I gave you an overview and kind of what it is. I mean, you get them in the marketplace. It's under names, and then you put in your name. I just put in OG Contraband, and so that's where you get it. And then there's some stuff you do once you're deploying. Like, you have to put in this extra world configuration, and then there is, even though the total size limit is, whatever you have, like I got 300 megabytes I could go up to. There is a individual model size, or any file can be no bigger than 50 megabytes. So that is, there's still some limitation, and I do have models. I mean, what I'm about to show you with the Trumpty Dumpty, it started out probably I think around 200 megabytes because I'm rendering out the video, so I'm trying to get really high quality textures, and there is still some stuff that there was things that were not compatible, and I had to change them up and figure out what was wrong. And I'll show you. We'll watch the thing I made. I never did figure out what was wrong with this toilet. Anyways, you put this extra configuration in there. These, I don't know. I guess we'll find out once I jump into my scene. Does it do anything? I don't know. If you got this, does that even matter? But mine really was just one parcel, so that should be right. We'll find out because it is deployed. And then down here, you want to open up terminal and code, and then you want to run the special script because there is no published world. So if you go to publish scene, what I found out, it's like, oh no, like, this is for publishing to a parcel. And it was smart enough to know that I had a world configuration in there. So, and, the only part I put into by my name was just that part. So you add this little dcl.eth onto the end, and it seemed to work. And let's see, let's jump in. And so I ran this, and that's where I'm at now. Let's go. I showed you that. We went through some of the documentation or my summary of it, and you probably could read some too. I guess once you got this, you can deploy it to easily. I mean, that seems like common sense. You can deploy it easily to the main Genesis map. I don't know, was there anything else? But anyways, let's see places. Now places, this is where, if you got one, if you made this, then apparently it's just going to show up on the map. And so let's jump into my scene and see if it works. This is going to be the moment of truth. Okay, here we go. Okay. Oh, is there any link to this? Let's see. Location. So it's not really a website. That's one thing I was wondering. I don't know. Is there a Oh, here we go. You can get a shareable link. Let's just see what the... Okay, places.decentraland.org. That doesn't seem right. I don't think that's right. That cannot be right. Or either that's not going to work. Let's see. I don't think that link's right. Get ready. Turn your volume down. It's going to be loud. And by the way, if you want to jump into this, this is a lot bigger than your typical scene. I guess it's only like 2 to 3 times higher. But it'll probably take a little bit more on the computer, so you probably need to have a GPU on this. So let's see if it works. Oh man. Oh yeah.
Humpty Dumpty built a tiny wall, hid in a bunker cause he's got no balls. Humpty Dumpty
Oh, you know what?
turd.
I said I had problems with the toilet.
Humpty Dumpty
It's actually working. I mean, or it's working better than it was.
Dumpty didn't get the turn out, so they took him to court. We heard the people all
Things
shout.
look a little different.
Our flowers spread, whoever it was, off with his
This is it. This is like the Trumpty Dumpty and
off with his head, off with his head, off with his head. Trumpty painted our flowers red, off with his head, off with his head. We'll be safer when I'm
and you get to listen to my bomb diggity song. Let's not pretend this is like winning the dang prize. Are you kidding? You get to live inside one of my videos. Yeah, that is. I wonder what's causing that effect on the wall. Maybe, let me see, if it changes when I go closer and further away, that can be two layers too close together, like, you know, the engines start to round and stuff, I think, and so it gets confused. I mean, everything looks pretty good, though, actually. Some things look better
Humpty Dumpty built a tiny wall, hid in a bunker cause he's got no balls. Humpty Dumpty was a racist turd. He didn't let up as the cities burned. Humpty Dumpty told a lot of lies. Humpty Dumpty caused many to die. Humpty Dumpty didn't get the turn out, so
alright, so let me show you,
who here painted our flowers red? Whoever
oh, here we go. Here's how you link to your thing. So there's they got the wrong share. So it's the question realm and then your thing. And you probably don't need this. I jumped into a certain position and yeah, I figured out. Did you notice how I'm in the zoomed in, all the way zoomed in position? I can't even scroll. Like I'm scrolling out, like zoom out. So I figured out how to lock that down because it was like, this is such a small scene that it was going outside the walls real bad. And so it's nicer to look at it this way and then you know to like get right up against the prison bars. And so anyways, so let me show you how I reduce this because this whole model has started out over 180 megabytes and now it's under 30 megabytes. So, what I'm about to show you is some powerful stuff here. So that's where I was trying to figure out this sync. Okay. Yeah, let me show you a couple things. GLTF export. I mean, as you probably noticed, the binaries tend to be smaller just anyways, so that's one thing you can use the GLB instead of GLTF. But here's the magic. Okay, if you go into geometry, export, materials, I did two things. One, I set this to JPEG. I think that helped, but here was the big thing. You check that box. The higher you go with this compression level parameter right here, I mean, it'll get real small. I think I could have even got this, because it's not really a high polygon model. What's killing these file sizes is texture size, because, you'll have like, typical models will be like 4,000 by 4,000 in image size. And right out of the gate, you're talking about 16 megapixels. That's already bumping you up to, probably about 4 megabytes or so, maybe even higher. I don't think it would be 16. I don't know. I'm not doing the math right now, but yeah, if you slide this up, that's going to make a heck of a difference. I think it started out at 3 or 4 or something, and it wasn't, it wasn't making the cut. And here's another thing, okay. In animation, now some of these things I don't know. Yeah, I probably actually might have been able to turn some of those off. I limit this to the playback playback range because there was extra animations. Animations are really expensive, like, because there's so much data there about what's going on. And so that was one thing, and then let me come back into it. And the other thing, I actually just limited this. I used to go out 600 or 700 things long. I limited this to where it's only going to 50. I set the end. It's this end parameter right here. And then so that also cut off a lot. Let's go back in here. But now, if you really got into a bind, the other thing you can do, because the animations are running, they're going to run at the video speed. So 30 frames per second to 20 or 24 frames per second. When you're probably not. I don't know what the frame rate of Blender is, but basically, if you really got into a long animation where whatever you're doing in your scene, you just kind of live without it. Something's happening. I don't know, you're driving a vehicle around a track or something, you turn that to 2, that's going to skip every other frame of your animation. That worked. And it actually, when I turned up the it went from I started at 180. I cut down my animation, probably got me to 130 or something. And then once I started compressing, and then I put this up to 2, I couldn't tell a difference. And I'm running a 3090, and so whatever. Although I have like 1 million amps open all the time, but I couldn't tell a difference to my eye, and so that would cut your animation and data in half. So okay, I think we covered it all. This is really exciting feature, and I still got to learn more too, because what I don't know, like if I go back to, that is so cool that that's on that list, because there's really not a ton of, it's a pretty short list. And so that's promoting my song. If you like the song, of course, you can download it, OG Contraband, 3 words, on any music platform: Pandora, Spotify, iTunes. And anyways, really cool, having one of my 3D scenes come to life like that. And I got one other one that was really popular among people with the Trump sheep. There's like the the sheep with hats on them. That was always really popular. People were even copying that and like trying to clip off my my watermark on that. It was so popular. And so anyways, what I'm interested to know now, okay, I still got plenty of storage space left. Like if I buy another one, if I buy another name, is that going to be another 300 megabytes, or would it be, I don't know. I don't know the answer, because, wow, that's a great deal, really. And, I don't know. I hope it turns out to be permanent web hosting when we're doing this stuff on Decentraland. I hate to say it, but with the traffic numbers not hitting what we'd want to, I guess the good side of the coin is that it should be pretty cheap to host, I guess. I don't know. There's always a good way to look at things, right? But I'm still wondering, like, is there some way now I can publish another scene, and I'll just have to mess around with it. But if you do know the answers to any of these, like, is there some way I can just have 2 scenes out there, or something like that? Or what happens if I buy another one? Because, what I got planned for my farming video, or my farming thing, it's coming along really quickly for only being a little over a week into it. And I keep thinking of other ideas, like, oh, that'd be really cool if I have this other part of the game, and it's up to where, like, if I did everything I wanted to, I think I'd be up to 4 different one little plots. And with this, I mean, I could put it all on one of those places. So it's pretty exciting, and like, there's there's no excuses now not to create when it's $25. And in my opinion, there's no better portfolio if you want to get into 3D game production, you want to animate for Pixar or something, anything like that. And, well, not only that, developer skill too. I mean, some of this stuff, the one I showed you really is pretty easy that I just did. I figured out a couple new things, but when it gets to this farming game and the zombies, because they're going to be tied together, the API, now that I got an API saving to a database, it basically allows me to take several small plots of land and make them act together as one thing. So I don't know. It's pretty exciting. So I think this is a big deal. And smash the like, subscribe if you enjoyed this video. I may do some more tips for you especially if people have questions, they got stuck on something, because so far things are going, I mean, as smoothly as they can for like making a 3D game that talks to DynamoDB over AWS and all this stuff. So if you did have certain questions that, things that you got stuck on before, or you saw me succeed at something and you just never could figure it out, and be willing to make a video about that. So thanks for tuning in. Happy Saturday, and we'll check you later.